Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe that I am making a video about reviewing my 2018 goals, that we are that close to 2019. Where did this year go? So I watched my 2018 goals and kind of looked back through them and got a little bit of a giggle about what I wanted to prioritize, which I feel like is the case every year. But I did want to talk about how I did on those goals and whether or not the goals worked for me in the way that they were intended. So the first goal was my traditional goal, which is my Goodreads challenge, which is always 52 books lately, and I think I'm going to leave it at that. Just kind of, it works. This year I read 67 books. As of filming, I will probably read a few more before the end of the year, but I easily surpassed that goal and was very excited about that. The second one was really my main goal, which is to read my shelf. So really what I was trying to do is reduce my TBR and stop buying more and more and more books. So I started the year with 117 books on my physical TBR. And as of filming, I have 92 books on my physical TBR, which sounds decent, but then you have to know that I bought 57 books this year, and I either DNF'd or purged several books off of my shelf, so the numbers are not as good as they sound, though I'm happy with them. I'm not stressed about it, honestly. Really, at this point, I'll be happy if my TBR fits on this shelf that's right here, which it's pretty close to doing, although Christmas is still to come and I know I'm getting books for that, so we may end up with the same amount of books on the TBR as was at the beginning of the year, just different books. The good thing is that of the 57 books that I did buy this year, I read 31 of them. So that is, if I remember correctly, better than last year. So I am doing a better job of buying books I actually want to read. And that's really where I want to get, is to get the TBR down to a place where I have books that I can pick from when I want to pick from them, but also when I buy a book, I read it as soon as I buy it. So I'm not just buying books to add to my shelf, I'm buying books that I actually want to read at that moment. So I think I did progress towards this, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in the context of Bookopoly, which was the next real goal and challenge for 2018. So Bookopoly was a challenge that I really, really enjoyed, and I think I will continue it in some capacity in 2019 because it did help me do quite a few things. So the first thing that it helps me do is it helps me focus on either buying less books or reading the books that I buy right away. And I only actually went into book jail once. I went into book jail in July and didn't get out of it until August, like the beginning of August. Now technically, if we're being 100% honest, I should still be in book jail from October because I bought several books in October and did not read them all, and did not have a get out of jail free card to use for that because I used that for September. But that sort of leads into the second part of that, which is I did a really good job at the beginning of the year of focusing more on only buying books that I was going to read. And then later, towards the end of the year, I started to get a little bit more lax about that and buying things that I wasn't ready to read, that I just heard about and was excited to see on a used bookstore shelf, and so I bought it. McKay's is my issue, that is for sure. I have a problem when I go in there of just buying things that I'm excited to see in a used bookstore, but that I'm not ready to read. So that's something that I want to think about and try to work around and do a better job with that. In 2019, I did pretty strategically use those get out of jail free and free money cards though to keep myself out of book jail, which was sort of the point, but also sort of not the point. But you know, again, like I said, I'm happy with the progress that I made, and I think that next year it will even get better. I did find that the community bookshelf, so that was super helpful. So that was books that either were recommended by Justin, my husband, or were BookTube recommendations, or were from one of the 3 subscription boxes that I had in 2017. So the ones that were Justin's pick definitely got me outside of my comfort zone. I'm not going to say that I really enjoyed either of them, but it was nice to read something that I wasn't really on my radar, and it made him happy. So that was really the point of that card. The subscription box ones helped in getting down the number of those subscription box books that I still have. I still have some from each of the subscription boxes, but we're almost to the point where I'm done with those, which is really exciting because, again, that was one of those things where I was bringing books in that I wasn't reading right away. So I've had those since 2017. The goal ultimately would be before the end of 2019 to have completely finished those, but we'll see if that pans out. But I do think that those cards helped me to prioritize those books where I might not have otherwise. And as far as spending money for future book trip, which I think has been decided is going to be a Nashville bookstore crawl that I'm going to go on with Doris, that money is over $100. So I saved over $100 in my Pineapple Bank over 2018 from the books that I read. That was motivating, and I was really excited to put money in this Pineapple Bank. So I will definitely, like I said, be doing some of that in 2019 as well. And then I had 3 things that weren't really goals, but were things I wanted to focus on. These are probably where I failed the most. So the one that I didn't fail at was I wanted to reread more, and I said Bel Canto and Harry Potter. I did reread Bel Canto. I did not read any of the Harry Potters again, but that's okay. You know, I've done that before, and I probably will do that when I'm interested in it. I just was never in the mood to reread them. Shocker. But that's what happened with that. The other 2 goals were to read more translated books and to read more nonfiction. I read 3 translated books in the entirety of 2018. I have nothing to say about that. I am super disappointed in that statistic. And then nonfiction, I think I read 4. Yeah, I read 4 nonfiction books, which again, not really great, but also not terrible for me. I didn't go back and look and see how many I read in 2017, but I would like that to be higher next year, and I think that part of it was the focusing on physical TBR and not trying to buy more books. I don't have that many nonfiction books on my TBR, so there was a little bit of that getting in the way, but at the same time I just was never really looking for nonfiction. I wasn't pulling the ones on my shelves and reading those, so yeah. So overall, I feel like I did really well with what I set out to do, and I think that kind of what I intended is sort of down the path that I went, because really my intentions were to buy less books and to read more of what I have, and if I am buying books, to read them when I've bought them so that they don't just sit around. So buy things that I'm excited about, really. And I think I accomplished that, and I think that I'm going to fine-tune that and keep working on that for next year, but I'm pretty happy with where I landed on my goals this year. So let me know down below how you did on your goals for 2018, and look for my 2019 goal video coming up pretty soon, probably after Christmas or first of the new year, whenever I get around to it. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!